Chinese Lunar New Year in the Gregorian calendar. It was Chinese Lunar New Year a few days ago, so I'm going to talk about the date of the Chinese Lunar New Year in this speech. Chinese lunar calendar is based on the circulation of the moon around the Earth. 1 month is measured by the moon rotating 1 lap around the Earth. Each month has either 29 days or 30 days, which half of the month has 29 days and the other half has 30 days. So 1 year in the Chinese lunar calendar has 354 days, but 1 year in the Gregorian calendar has 365 days. That means 1 year in the Chinese lunar calendar is about 11 days less than 1 year in the Gregorian calendar. To solve the problem of the days in the Chinese lunar calendar is not enough for the Earth to circulate around the Sun in a year, there will be a leap month added every 3 years in the Chinese lunar calendar. And that year will have 13 months, which is 384 days. According to the Gregorian calendar, the date of the Chinese Lunar New Year in the Gregorian calendar will move 11 days backwards every year. But when the Chinese Lunar New Year is in January, it needs to move forward. So a leap month of 30 days will be added, making that year have 384 days, which is 19 days more than the Gregorian calendar, since 384 minus 365 equals 19, and that shifts next year's Chinese Lunar New Year 19 days forward. Using 3 years as a cycle, the Chinese Lunar New Year would still move backwards 11 plus 11 minus 19, which is 3 days. So this still hasn't solved the problem of Chinese Lunar New Year's date shifting. After 18 years, which is 6 cycles, the Chinese Lunar New Year has moved backwards 6 times 3, which is 18 days. To solve this problem, on the 19th year, a leap month is added again. So the Chinese Lunar New Year is corrected to move forward 18 days. That means every 19 years in the Chinese lunar calendar, there are 7 leap months, and it makes the Chinese Lunar New Year the same day every 19 years in the Gregorian calendar. If the Chinese Lunar New Year in the Gregorian calendar is on February the 1st, next year's Chinese Lunar New Year will be on January 21st. January 21st is the earliest possible Chinese Lunar New Year. If the Chinese Lunar New Year is on January 31st, there will be a leap month that's added. So next year's Chinese Lunar New Year will be on February 19th. February 19th is the latest possible Chinese Lunar New Year. So the Chinese Lunar New Year is always between January 21st and February 19th, and it has approximately 1/3 of probability of happening in January.